NBA fans, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the channel. Let's talk Western Conference play-in games today. We have the Clippers and Timberwolves later tonight after the Eastern Conference Nets-Cavs game. I already said Nets win that, Nets go on, and we'll talk about that series, the Nets-Celtics, when it comes. But let's talk about the Western Conference playoffs. Let's talk about what's going on. Let's talk about matchups. First, we have the Clippers-Timberwolves. It's not that I don't think the Western Conference is good, because I think the Western Conference is top heavy, but when it comes down to the play-in games, I just don't think they have the talent, and I really just don't think these teams are as good as the Eastern Conference, especially the Pelicans and Spurs. Neither of those teams would have made the playoffs in the Eastern Conference if that was the case. But you know what? We're here anyway, and I want to get into this first matchup here. The Clippers are really good. They're like a sneaky good team that has been being constantly overdoing these expectations. They didn't have Paul George and Kawhi Leonard all year. Now Paul George is back. The team is just a much better team than expected. They're deep. They made a couple nice trades. Norman Powell, love the dude. Robert Covington dropped 40-piece. He had a 40-piece McNugget a couple weeks ago. That's insane. It was like the night after he had 7 points too. The NBA is just wild nowadays. But then there's the Timberwolves, a team who has kind of done the opposite. Finally, this year is the first year they really finally break through post-Jimmy Butler era, and the team has constantly just been underwhelming every single year. This team is a lot different, though. The additions of Patrick Beverley have made this defensive stature much more, intimidating, and a much better defensive team. D'Angelo Russell is one of the reasons why that is the case. He has been a very good defender this year. He has been very well improved, and everybody seems to buy in. Karl Anthony Towns also seems like he's playing with the chip on his shoulder right now. He's had an All-NBA type of season. I have him as my third-team All-NBA center, but we'll see what the media, the brilliant minds of the media can come up with to try and make their case in point, because Lord knows how bad the media has been with this whole MVP thing and all NBA team thing, but that's for another video. But yeah, it's going to be a good game. I think this is going to be a really close game. I have the Clippers winning this. I think the Clippers win this game. I just think the Clippers are too deep. I think their coaching is too good, and I think Ty Lue is a really, really good coach, and I also just really believe in this team. I think this team, especially now Paul George, is scary. And I don't think they're going to win a first-round matchup, whether they're the 7 seed or 8 seed. I just don't think they're that good, but I think they're good enough to give Phoenix 5-6 games. I think they're good enough to give Memphis a 6-game series, but we'll see. We'll see. I think the Clippers win this. My prediction for the score, let's say 109-101. That's going to be my prediction there. Let me know what you guys think about that game tonight for sure. But there lies game number 2, which is the Pelicans, who have gotten CJ McCollum and have seemed to just risk it off the biscuit. For whatever reason, they finished the season with 36 wins. CJ has had a pretty good stretch here in New Orleans after his first game. He was 0 for something his first game as a Pelican. That was rough. But no Zion all year. They've dealt with a lot of injuries, but they've also had Herb Jones, who arguably is a first-team All-Rookie this year. He has been an absolute bright spot. He's arguably the best perimeter defender as a rookie that I've ever seen. He is incredible, especially on the point of attack. He's one of the best point of attack defenders in the entire NBA. He is a steals master. He's a blocks master. He's just an energy guy who is one of the better defenders in the league already. He is really kind of their face of that defense, and that defense has been a little bit better as of late. Pelicans and Spurs. The Spurs are a team who snuck out that final 10 seed over LA and really just played well without even DeJounte Murray, which is crazy because DeJounte is an absolute freaking bona fide stud. I love that man. I wish the Sixers got him sometimes. He was the guy I wanted the Sixers to get all along. I love DeJounte. Keldon Johnson's a microwave bucket getter. Devin Vassell can, pop a 3-ball here and there. Lonnie Walker's an athletic freak. Philly kid, stand up. The team's good, man. The Spurs are Greg Popovich led. I don't think they're as good as their record probably shows. They're still a young team trying to figure out their identity, and they still don't really have an alpha, even though DeJounte Murray appears to possibly be that alpha. He just gets better every single year, and I love him for that. He's one of my favorite players in the NBA. He is an all-world two-way point guard. Everything you want out of a point guard. He's a top 5 passer. He is a former All-NBA first-team defender. He is a guy who's putting up 20 a night now. He's a triple-double machine. He is an efficient scorer. Only thing he needs to work out a little bit more consistently is that three-point jump shot. But outside of that, he knows how to navigate an offense. I think the Spurs win this game. I just think I'm not even going to say they're the better team because they're not, but I think they win this game. And originally I had the Pelicans. I did have the Pelicans. But I think the Spurs are going to edge out this win because of coaching and because of DeJounte Murray. If DeJounte plays, I honestly don't even know if that man plays. If DeJounte doesn't play, yeah, they lose that. They lose that game. Simply put, the Pelicans win. But DeJounte playing, I have the Spurs winning that game, which would lead up to what? The Spurs playing the Timberwolves? Yikes, man. I think if the Pelicans win against the Spurs, the Pelicans beat the Timberwolves. But if the Spurs win, I think the Timberwolves win. Pretty basic there. I think when it comes to athleticism, they match up. Minnesota matches up pretty well with San Antonio. They just have much more athletic wings than San Antonio does. But San Antonio is relatively athletic too. But when it comes to New Orleans, I think that matchup is a much closer game between New Orleans and what am I blanking for? Minnesota. So those are my predictions. I think it's going to be Spurs over Pelicans, and then the Timberwolves. I keep messing their name up. The T-Wolves over the Spurs. And then I still obviously have the Clippers winning game 1, and then it's going to be Clippers T-Wolves or Clippers T-Wolves or Clippers Pelicans. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to make another video later today. I'll see you guys later. Peace.